What's up, Terry? How are you? Terry, you
I
frozen.
am amazing. How about you, Erica?
I am.
Oh no.
My head is a little bit stinging a little bit. Oh my goodness. But I'm all good for the wear. I feel like, man, I'm seeing so much right now. I'm just seeing so much. And I've been writing about it. And it's come to me, Terry. The title of this show. Look what the cat dragged in, or what the cat dragged in, right? Because I was writing about these exes, and then I actually literally saw two of them, and I was like, wait a minute, this is getting to be so much. But I started to think about life and what the cat drags in. So I'm just gonna read what I had written about this, and gee whiz. I had like this monologue thing that I wrote, and it's like this. So we know, okay, so we know about past loves, and we usually watch out for Mercury retrograde. Are we in retrograde now? Do you know?
Nope.
Okay, so usually
Nope.
that's when you think
Nope. We're
about
not.
that's usually when you think about like, oh, X is popping up and blah blah blah. So,
Right.
but energetically, what are all the things that the cat drags in? And I started thinking about it because it was like, and the cat came back, and then and then what the cats dragged in. I was just starting to think about that.
Right.
What does the cat drag in all levels, right? So what are the signs that the cat is dragging something in, or you know is it something new that you should welcome into your life? Because is this a pattern, whether it be a pattern or a person? What's the difference between safety and fear? Because as you're like living, people pop back up, and situations pop
Yeah.
back up, and they approach you, and you want to be able to forgive them, right? Because that's a part of your healing. But what do you do with them? Like, that's not necessarily you're not wanting to try to date them again, you're not trying to be with them again, or you're not trying to re-pursue that particular situation, because you've already been through that, you already done it. But what do you do? Because I think sometimes when people have the situation come in, they think the part of the forgiving is, let's try it again and let's see what happens, or they get kind of lost in it and they kind of spiral into it. And so what are some of the
So
things we can do with what the cat dragged in? And
so
how
so
do
okay. So I just want to say this is I'm going to say this. I think what happens is I think the universe brings them back for us to see if we've learned the lesson from it. So then we can let it go and say, hey, I don't need to go back here again. This doesn't, the second time around isn't going to be any better. What did I learn from this? And, like those, sometimes when we're letting things go, they're going to show up again to say, are you ready to really let it go and move forward? Or else you're going to play this game all over again.
so I'm
Go
gonna go
ahead.
ahead and finish this. I'm gonna finish this thing that I wrote,
Okay.
and it says, "So, how do we
Okay.
observe it or deal with it? How do we deal with what the cat dragged in? What do you do? Oh, it's a lot of repetitive. Oh gosh, what? Mm, this isn't the proper thing that I wrote. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. And so, what are the signs that the cat is dragging something in versus actually something new or something we can welcome, whether it be a pattern or a person? What is the difference between safety and fear when it comes to that? What is the difference between forgiving and forgetting or just forgiving? But not necessarily trying to enter into the same sacred bond just because you forgave or moved on. So, what do we do? What are the actual things we can do or notice what the cat dragged in? How do we observe it? How do we deal with it? How do we spiritually compost it if it needs to be? And that's what the episode is about. And so, there's a lot of overuse in pop psychology of certain terms. People throw it around but don't use it correctly. If there's, anything that we can do to go deeper into that. And oh man, it really kind of got mixed up in the little jumble because I even wrote as the dog returns to its vomit. Like, so we don't have to return to things like in the Proverbs 26:11, and it
Right.
talks about repeating that. And so my little notes got jumbled up. So basically, we got the good idea of what this is about. Because sometimes things are
Right.
presented to us and we sometimes always see like, oh, it's a sign, but what is it a sign of? Is it something we should deal with,
Yeah.
reintroduce ourselves to, or is it just a sign of, like you say, now this is your final test? Like, are you going to be baited in by this again and have this situation, or are you going to be able to avoid, these new found obstacles? um Personally, I did want to list some of these things right here. What are some of the things that the cat does drag in? But normally
Yeah.
we do this show right under the guise of us recognizing the problem. But in
Yeah.
your mind when you're going through this, are you got to also figure out, are you what the cat dragged in? Because some people, I swear, we did a discussion before and we talked about this with a particular lady who thought this was okay and I did not think it was okay. The idea of going through your phone and digging up your exes and calling them so that because you're lonely
Oh,
or needy. And I thought, no, I don't like that, because even though I used to be this person who would do that, go backwards, guess what? That person's trying to get over you, get over a loss or change, and they're trying to get their life
yeah.
on. Why I felt it was detrimental and why I did not like it is because as soon as you get things going and where you are and you get the thing you really want, you don't talk to that person again. So you dug up old feelings and did whatever, but you end up stirring up something for someone else. And I think people have to look at this
Right.
in the aspect of, are you what the cat dragged in? So here are some metaphors about what the cat dragged in, and I'll go ahead and share the screen because I know sometimes when we are talking about this, it's good for you to be able to pause and look at the screen and be able to do it. So what the cat dragged in,
Yeah.
something desirable or unexpected showing up in your energy field. That's one of the things the cat can drag
Mhm.
in, right? Things in your energy field. Dogs returning to the vomit, in that aspect, returning to bad habits or toxic relationships. And I was talking to somebody too before, and it's like if you were thirsty, would you drink poison just because you were thirsty? So you might be thirsty for attention or feel lonely or whatever, but you wouldn't want to drink poison. It's the same way as drinking poison to go back to that toxic
Right.
shit just because you can't do better, or you feel like, oh, well, I can't do better, or, oh, well, You don't want to return to something that you know is toxic. So another one is a hairball. So energetically or as and metaphorically, we'd say it's an emotional blockage that finally comes up to the surface. So also there's a dead bird as a gift, because you know cats will bring you back a dead bird, right? So bringing
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
trauma or a burden disguised as love or offering. So that's that's a good one. Ghosting pop term. So absence used as power often returns with unfinished business. So
Right.
yeah, when someone ghosts you and then they suddenly pop back up, that absence is used as power and they're returning for unfinished business. I like that one. Then there's breadcrumbing. So these are some pop terms and things. So
Yeah.
breadcrumbing, giving someone just enough attention to stay in your field, often manipulation, right? And then there's you're not housebroken. So that's a way to call out someone for bringing mess into your emotional space repeatedly. They're not
Right.
housebroken. Wow, it just reminds me of having a bad house guest. Right. A way to call someone out for bringing mess. Okay, so emotional fleas. This is funny. Some fleas, little unresolved irritants that jump from one connection to the next. And then you can just fix you can't just fix what's not yours. Don't let someone else mess up. Oh, don't let someone else's mess become your mission.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the way I'm introducing it is kind of messy, but hopefully it all makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we have. There's a lot of things that keep coming back, and it's where are you in your journey to heal yourself, right? Where are you? And these things are going to keep coming up until you are ready to say, I'm not going to. I'm not going to let these emotional little things, these emotional fleas pop up for me. I've resolved that. And so I can now walk away from it. Because I think until you, until you move, move yourself out of that, these things don't pull you back in, they're going to keep pulling you back in, if that makes sense. It's like when you let something go, let it go. Don't keep it's like a scab that you have. Don't keep let the scab heal. Don't keep opening it up again. And a lot of these things are those metaphors is like, do you need to go back to it? And if you go back to it, then why? Ask yourself why.
Yeah, I think it's just amazing how the things just keep popping up. I need to get
Yeah.
a hold of your cards. Today is the 4th. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, do I need to download it? I need to download it. And then I need to bring it on the screen as a presentation.
I think
Share
we need
slide.
we need to realize too that this is our journey, and we're not meant to we're not meant to be here to fix somebody else's problems. We're meant to deal with how do we deal with it. And yes, I mean there are certain things that we can that we can take part in, but we can't fix somebody who's got issues that they can't deal with. We're not meant to do that.
Right. Right. We're not. It's so funny because I'm just really to
So
this point where I'm consistently observing my own um issues and those around me and wondering like why is these feelings or pop up, or why these moods pop up, or why these people and situations pop up, because I really see the cycles in my life This is amazing. Like if I was thinking about all these cycles that we're told, like remember with Christopher Pridham, he did that reading. I'm just like, wow, these things are cyclical, but I think we have to recognize the cycles, really just observe the cycles. But I'm gonna let you get into the cards. So these are from Denise Lynn.
Yeah, the sacred forest. So it just kind of interesting with the beauty card is we are seeing sometimes we stop, we look in the mirror, okay, but we don't necessarily see our own beauty. We see a reflection and we look for our problems. Why is this and why is that? Maybe there's a reflection in the mirror and we have to walk through the mirror and say, I'm beautiful and I'm worthy and I don't need, I'm ready to now leave this stuff behind me. And so I think that when we look at, when we see our own beauty and see how much, and start to find our confidence in our being, right, instead of looking back and seeing all those aspects that oh, I wasn't pretty enough, or I wasn't smart enough, or I wasn't. Find your own beauty, and then you'll be able to give yourself the confidence to then step through that mirror and leave all of that stuff behind. And we quite often don't recognize how we've grown and how truly beautiful we are. What have you gone through, and do I need to still keep going through that over and over again? It's time to use, and then use our knowledge that we've gained. We've experienced all these things, like what you said, like the cat came back. We've experienced it. Do we need to experience it over and over again? Do we need to keep doing the same things before we recognize how beautiful we are? And then that becomes then the passage for us to move through it and say, okay, I now ready to take my next step in my growth, in my personal growth. Because a lot of these things have a tendency to just keep us in a loop and prevent us from moving forward and moving to a higher frequency. And so sometimes, we can say, whatever the energies are, they have a vested interest in us not growing. And so those energies are going to keep throwing stuff at us to make us feel like, oh, I didn't finish, or I didn't do this, or I'm not this. Uh, they're trying to prevent us from moving forward. And as soon as you start to recognize what it is that I've done this before. I don't need to go through whatever is being dragged back into my life. Like, just let it go, but move up to your next frequency. And when you do move up to it, use that knowledge, then you can see it for what it is, and you don't have to be pulled back into the drama. And so that becomes that passage for you to walk through, is when you recognize that, wait a minute, these are patterns that are trying to pull me back in, and those patterns are going to appear like, like an ex, like a family member, like whatever. And it's just those energies not wanting you to move forward. And so once you recognize it, once you have that knowledge, then you can move past them.
It's interesting because the ladies are in the water and the moon is shining, and you can look down in the water and see the reflection of the moon. And it's like, is that you or just a reflection of you? Is that what
Well,
aspect of
it's
you
a
is
mirror.
that reflection, right? That
Is it
that
is it a
mirror.
mirror? Is it, that light is coming from behind and you're seeing that reflection, but is it showing you a mirror? Is it really you, or is it what's going on behind you? Well, notice your own
Right.
beauty.
And then
Notice.
to using that water as, reflection is it accurate? Because to me, it's like it's dark. Sometimes it's murky.
It,
There's some
it's
pieces
distorted.
miss. It's distorted. So and then here it is, the air spirit. It's blowing me away because the water. Because this starts out as flexible water,
Yeah.
then water evaporates into the air, and then so being flexible, and then ending up firm with the
Hmm.
stones,
Yeah.
solid.
Solid.
Because over
But it's
time,
going and it's going into the light, like the yellow is going into the sunlight. So you got the solid, the earth, and the fire here. So you got all
right,
four elements. So it's finding your balance and um, not letting other energies distort you, right? Because they're going to try. The other energies are going to try. And the thing is we see them as familiar. Like, is it an ex? Is it your husband? Is it your wife? Is it your kids? Is it your mother? Is it your father? Is it your siblings? Whatever it is, it's going to appear that those energies are going to they're going to use something familiar with us, and those energies, those familiar things become triggers for us. And what are we going to do with it? Are we going to play the game all over again, or are we finally going to say, I've done this, I don't need to go back and think about this again or that again, right? Because how many times do you have to? And this is the trick of the matrix. It keeps pulling you back in and pulling you back in and pulling you back in. When do you get enough momentum to say, this is just a reflection of that? I've already dealt with it, I don't need to go back. And that's when you make your breakaway, you walk through, and then you have, that passage is that new beginning.
right. Yeah, it was kind of blowing me away how the elements changed here from water, and then it becomes, it evaporates, and total freedom,
Well, and
giving
so
you
that's
freedom.
the
And
emotion, right? It's the emotion. The water is the emotion. The air is the mental, is the thinking part of it. And then we're moving into the earth, and we're moving into the earth, the solid ground, and then into the fire. And what does the fire do? It purifies, and it brings in a new life.
right. Yeah, I was loving the state of the changes with the elements, and then finally becoming firm in what is your final product. Now
Yeah.
you become the final product here, and you're standing stones, right? So you're
Yeah.
not falling stones, you're standing
The
stones,
standing
and you
stones. Yeah.
become the final product. You become the final product.
Yeah.
So, and then too, let things wash off of you. Let yourself evaporate. Let yourself detach from, because water slides off, air around you, and then become the final product. Make a
Hmm.
decision about where you stand. Where do you stand in this situation? Yeah, I think it's really beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, you guys do really good with telling us what you think, or if this evokes anything in you. But I know I see a lot for myself in it, but I'm really hoping to get some feedback from people about how these things presented to you. And I'm gonna put it back up here, some of those metaphors about, is the cat dragging in something for you? Are you what the cat dragged in? Are you returning to your vomit? Do you have like these emotional blockages, these hairballs? um are you carrying around dead birds? Are you ghosting people,
Yeah.
or a victim of the ghosting, breadcrumbing? Are you housebroken? Do you have emotional fleas? You can fix you can't fix what's not yours. Are you just a fixer? Are you always going around trying to make a fixer upper, or are you the fixer upper? Because I want people to look at it not just from the perspective of outward, but actually reflecting within. Are you that person that brings that, you know? So that's what I found was so interesting. I think for now on, when we are doing the show, that we'll be talking from that perspective of you have to recognize that stuff in yourself, because a lot of times we can do the and the amen, but then we never are looking because we're always seeing the plank, you know, the speck in someone else's eye, so to speak. And now here it
Yeah.
is. Let's figure this out and really actually be doing the healing, because we're seeing a lot of people, really nice people, but really they have these kinks in their armor. And where's the healing? They're doing a lot of knowledge, a lot of teaching, a lot of grandstanding and gatekeeping, but it's like somehow all these people are out here doing the most talking, and it's like, damn, when are you doing your healing work? Check yourself. Check
Yeah.
yourself with fleas, right?
Yeah.
All right, you got fleas
Exactly. Check yourself.
up and see if you got some fleas, and let us know who was watching, and let us know, you know, who's
Yeah.
out there. And did the message ring any bells for you? Because I found it quite eye opening thinking about this, you know, yesterday and the last couple of days.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna end. Oh,
Oh,
you want
no, I was just going to say, and so this week I'm going off with our friend. I'm going down to um, Camp Wild Spirit with our friend
That's
Amber.
right.
Husband, yes, and so I'm
You
really
finally
looking
get to meet
forward to
another
being
friend in
with
person.
those gals, yeah, for the weekend, and we're going to do some stuff with the Akashic records and that sort of thing. But it'll be because we've known Miss Amber for a couple of years now, but
Very
this is my first
interesting.
time
I
meeting her,
even met
so
Amber.
it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just saw an
yeah,
advertisement or a thing that she did about being an entrepreneur and building websites. And she gave us a class on our websites. And then she broke into
yeah.
teaching and retreats and things like that. And so it's been really interesting. How do you say
Seeing
transition?
people how they grow. Yeah,
Where she's going. And so this beautiful retreat, oh gosh, I wish I had the advertisement up, but it's already set anyway, so it's not like something you
yeah,
can go see. But
yeah. And
maybe
I think I we that's just something maybe we can just add to that is that people do grow and we don't have to be stuck repeating in that repetitive cycle. That you as soon as you start moving forward, you don't end up repeating those same things over and over again. We can use it to propel us to that next level. And I think when we observe this and people who've grown, because we can watch other people who haven't, who are talking about it but they haven't done the work, and then there are those who've done the work and you see it. It's a very different energy, right?
yeah, Amber's doing great things up there. um Creative Waves, she's up in Illinois, but the retreat is in a different spot. Let's
In
see.
Indiana.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
she's
is,
in
Camp
Indiana. Yeah,
Wild
there we go.
Spirit. Yeah,
Yeah,
so she's just doing amazing things up there. Several teachers, including
yeah,
Terry. Terry also does Akashic Journeys. So if you want to know about, you
yeah.
know, some of your past life or issues that you have hovering, she and Jonathan, they do axiotonal alignment and clear portals and things like that. So definitely check Terry out. Let's see, Terry. Let's get you up here on the screen. Terry. Even though she'll be busy this
Hey,
week.
Allie. Nice to see you, Allie.
So you can inbox her on Facebook. Terry's out there. Check her out. as well. And we will
Yeah.
stop sharing the screen. Good to see you, Ali. Oh, where in Indiana? I think that's the name of the place, Camp Wild Spirit.
Yes, the Camp Wild Spirit. What I'm not
Versailles.
sure that, but that's just where that retreat is. Yeah.
Oh, is
And
that
I
what
think
she's
that's about.
asking?
I don't know where she is exactly.
Oh, is
Yeah,
she
and
asking
I'm
where the
not sure
retreat is?
where she.
She lives in Indiana. I think no, no, she's not in Indiana. She's in Illinois. Yeah, Osgood, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Osgood. I guess we telling all somebody's business. I don't know. But you, I don't know. It's on Facebook, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she says that's 8 hours.
Okay.
All right. Well, you
Yeah.
all have a good night or day. Please drop
Yes,
us
it was
a line.
next time we'll be back to our regular time and place and all that stuff.
So we think
We think, yeah, but we don't know.
we don't
We'll see.
know. We
We don't
don't
know. We
know.
don't know what we don't know.
You never know. We're gonna plan for it though. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just interesting and hopefully, I mean, I feel a little jumbled today, but I got a little headache, so um I'm being taught a lesson, and so I'm a little off. But anyway, but we did it anyway. We made it happen. Thank God, because Terry, I forgot it was today. I thought it was tomorrow. Anyway, bad. I'm a bad girl. All right. Well, you all have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good night. Yeah. Have a good. Yeah. Take care.